get nervous now. We're beginning to tear you up.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Throwing is Jackson, being chased out left. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface, but I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Black 80! Let's get it. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it.
On second down, it's Coleman. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
56. 6 man.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They'll go back to Edwards on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the run, watch the run. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
It's a give to the right. Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4. That's the end of the first quarter.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 3rd down. It's Edwards. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Let's go.
They run with Edwards. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Lucky. Bang, 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 bang.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Ingram. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
He'll go with Hill here on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
I got you. Check.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Right there, 54 Mike. Here we go.
on second down. It's Edwards, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards taking it in, and the Ravens have taken the lead. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 35 on second down, Garoppolo. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Here we go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Steps away to his left. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And an alley to run. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light. Red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
65.
Now Mostert. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Raheem Mostert, he was great in that NFC title game, 220 yards. But Super Bowl, 58 yards on 12 carries, though he did score the touchdown in the 3rd quarter to put the Niners up 20-10.
And think about the journey of Raheem Mostert and what he's traveled. That he has a 220-yard game, 4 touchdowns in the NFC title game that you just mentioned. But only getting 12 carries in the Super Bowl, I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought I only got 12 carries in a Super Bowl. That tells you how valuable he became and what people will focus on. And don't forget Tevin Coleman, the great comeback from the dislocated shoulder against Green Bay in the title game. 5 carries, 28 yards in the Super Bowl. Came back to start that game. Showed a great amount of toughness. But they didn't run it nearly as much as we expected. And they ended up with a result that maybe was unexpected, too. A loss in the Super Bowl.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That is incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Touchdown, 49ers! Matt Breida, 62 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game.
Ravens 14, 49ers 10.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Defense all day, all day. Joker, 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 joker. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 9, check 9.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. They run once more with Edwards, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry, it's Hill. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Edwards. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Niners' 37.
Again, it's Edwards. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Edwards. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 49ers' 34-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 41-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This is Mostert. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land.
Here we go.
Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Eluding the pressure right. And the ball is knocked out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time. And now it's 1st and 10. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On 1st down, here's Breida. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
General West. Switch. He's coming. Double up.
Mostert. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Edwards. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson forced out to his left. He uncorks it for Snead. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
Still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 45-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They run again with Breida. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Here's Mostert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Baltimore, so long, everybody. Start your week by installing your game plan. Easily see how many players you need to cut this week. Here are some recommendations to get you started. Start the regular season by selecting your season goal.